Welcome to Spoiler Corner. Okay, let's talk about the goddamn best part of this movie.
Motherfucking T-Rex, I'm back!
Okay, not only... I'm watching this movie thinking, really, am I just getting this fucking Coctuosaurus, you know, throughout the whole thing? Just like, no, this is like what they did in Jurassic Park 3 where they fucking kill the T-Rex and stuff like that. No, they are building this bitch up. They are like, this thing is in the middle of the park, everybody's gone. You know, which sucks, but, you know, it's in there, and, like, these raptors are getting, you know, are trying to attack the people. They don't know where to go and stuff, and this, you know, this monster is, you know, trying to get our main characters, and then, like, the kid's just like, we need more teeth, which is just a beautifully done line. I love it. And then
she talks to the wormy guy still back at, like, mission control or whatever. It's like, release it. Do it. Do it! He's
do you know what you're asking for?
Do it! Yeah, and you don't think this is a B movie? God, Jesus.
No.
He's like, do you know what you're asking for? He's like, do you know what you're asking for? He's like, do it.
So there's this giant ass door, and it starts opening, and she's standing there. It's just darkness there, and they shoot this beautifully, and you're like, well, what the fuck is it? What the fuck is it? Because you kind of forget that the T-Rex is even a player in this, and then suddenly
somebody who complains about how certain things are done, like, I knew right away what the fuck it was.
No, because they spent so much time on this stupid Coctuosaurus. I'm just like, you know, oh my god, they're really not gonna have the T-Rex, but they're just saving her up. This door's opening up, and then she lights the flare, and it's like, oh shit, I know what that means. I know what that is. And you just see these little beady eyes.
Yeah, it was the beady eyes from the T-Rex.
And you see it start moving, and the music's building. She's there. She's nodding. She's nodding like a badass. She's got a little flair there, and the dinosaur comes out. Here comes the T-Rex, and she starts running with the flare, and there's the Coctuosaurus, you know, trying to attack the people. She throws the flare at the Coctuosaurus. The Coctuosaurus goes, huh? And the T-Rex busts through this skeleton lineup of like another dinosaur, just busts through and goes.
I think, by the way, that was the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park.
Even better, even better.
That may have been.
That would be the great fuck you to that scene. And Japan goes, Rah! And you're thinking, oh my god, are they really gonna do this? Are they gonna have this fight? And they go in the midst of like all the shops and the gift center, all that stuff. They have this huge, goddamn awesome fight, and some of the raptors even get involved, you know, trying to help the T-Rex out. They're like, rah, 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 and this thing's grabbing them and throwing them up, and the T-Rex fighting. The music's going, and the people are just, you know, our main characters are just trying to back out, you know, looking at this thing. He brought the lights on, that's how incredible it was, and they're like just eating each other, munching each other, and then they start to get, the Coke 2 starts to get the T-Rex down. It's like, no, and I feel like Rocky.
Live!
I know,
get up!
Yeah, that's what I said. I leaned over and said, get up, you bum, get up! And this dinosaur, and I'm like, oh my god, they're not gonna do it again. They're not gonna kill the T-Rex again. But then suddenly this raptor, like, Blue, I think.
It was blue. I'm pretty sure it was blue.
Blue rushes in from the back, and again, Coke 2 is like, oh, and it jumps out. It's like, roar, roar, and it throws the raptor up, and then the T-Rex gets up and bites this thing's fucking neck and just swirls it around like a goddamn bitch. And does it near the water. So finally throws it against the water, and this thing gets up, and it's just this looking beat, but it's like, I'm not down, I'm Coke 2, I'm gonna last, rah! And they're just there, and there's the little raptor, and there's the T-Rex, they're there, they're tired too, but you think, what's gonna happen? And then you're like, wait a minute, the water, there was something in the water earlier.
This motherfucking Megalodon tap thing comes out and pulls a fucking deep blue sea and grabs and fucking Coke 2 monster.
And pulls it into the water.
And then the T-Rex and the raptor like stare at each other, and it's like some like gang thing. It's like, we cool, blood? Yeah, we cool. Peace out.
And they just go their separate ways.
Like, word.
and by that point,
and at that point, Doug just sat there and went, pedestrian. I've seen it before in the other movies.
Oh, you fucking liar. No, I was applauding right along with everybody because it was amazing. Like,
if we weren't in the IMAX theater and I thought somebody would have, like, tossed a
I would have just stood up and went, what?
I would have stood up. Yeah, I would have stood up and went, yeah! We were doing that. It was like,
no, we were just having a ball. And, you know, and then at the end it's like, oh, I guess we kind of got to know what happens to the people. They rush it as quickly as possible, which I didn't mind because I didn't give a shit about it.
Again, because this movie knows.
I don't know, but when...
No, you don't know. That's the problem.
But then finally, it's like, they just have a few quick lines, like I said, I mean, practically nothing. And that cuts to, again, what it should end on. The T-Rex going on top of this building, it's like the research building, just goes and it's circling around and you're just getting jacked up, like, that war's coming. It's gonna be like, you know, it's gonna be incredible. And yeah, it just circles around. There's a T-Rex, there's this beautiful shot of like the sun going down, or the sun coming up, and there's the world.
This is a Jurassic World.
Yeah, the Jurassic World is there and he just goes, and cut to the end credits. And it's just like, fuck! That was amazing!
The T-Rex is going,
God damn it!
I love that scene because the T-Rex is like up on top of it, and he's like, this is my house! My house!
I'm not sure if it's a he or a she in this. Did they make them all female in this? I don't know.
Are they? Yeah, he mentions, I think Chris Pratt mentions it.
That they all are female.
He,
okay,
she, alright, so she's like, this is my
house! So, yeah, just... Totally worth it.
I cried. I cried a little. I'm not gonna lie.
Amazing. And
tears were shed.
You know
what else? You know what else I love about it? Because I'm gonna interrupt you because you like fucking went on a rant earlier.
Go ahead.
I didn't get a word in earlier. Douglas is like, you really are douchey.
Will you just fucking talk?
Anyway, you know what else I love? It made me really like the Raptors. Like, for once, they're not like the evil bad guys. I was like, go, Blue, go, you get him, go! Like, all the Raptors, I'm like, go get him, come on, take him down! And I'm like, any movie that can make me feel sorry for and happy to see Velociraptors is awesome, and you shut your dirty whore mouth when you say you don't like this movie.
It was, definitely worth the price of admission. I mean, like I said, I mean, it was just, between that and then the pterodactyl scene and the opening showing off the park, I mean, it's like I said, I gotta sit through a whole bunch of our stuff I personally didn't like, but it's like those 3 scenes were just like, you know, damn it! This is so cool! Can I just make like a cut where it's nothing but those 3 scenes? Just the opening, the middle, and the ending. But yeah, pretty much they built, and here's what I like. Okay, Jurassic Park 3, when we did that review, so many people out there were just like, well, you know, if this dinosaur did exist, he would probably take down the T-Rex. And there's like a flame war about which one would really win. No, you shut your fucking mouth. The T-Rex is awesome. Nobody takes that bitch down. And the fact that they have her lose to this Bimorovosaurus, you know, thing, is just like, no. Fuck you, this movie said, hey, you know what? All the people that thought that, you know what? No, shut it, you shut your fucking whore mouth. This is amazing, this is how it should have gone down. Shh. I love the motherfucking T-Rex.
Shh, they're there.
Stop talking.
Okay, something to keep in mind. It's a work of fiction. Dinosaurs aren't really running around. So we really don't fucking know who would have won.
Yes, we do, the T-Rex.
Because it's make-believe!
well, here's the thing. When I say that, I think we are talking about the realms of the story. They built up the T-Rex so awesome, and then they throw her away like a bitch in movie 3, because it's just like, you know, oh no, because we got this other one.
New and improved.
This is our upping the ante, instead of opening up the park like they should have, and going after the
okay, and there's your problem. There is your problem. I actually did, the fact that the T-Rex lost to, what was the Spinosaurus?
I don't care.
Whatever the fuck it was. The fact that it lost is not what bothered me. You nailed it there. It's like, because we think we're upping the ante. The fact that they thought that was upping the ante and that was any good is what bothered me. Because I'm like, had it been a really epic fight and that dinosaur been really intimidating and something, I'm like, oh my god, I've never seen anything like this on film and I never will again. You know, if it were Mad Max Fury Road worthy, I'd probably be like, okay, that was amazing. It's the fact that it sucked that bothered me. It's like, and I think like a lot of people, it's not just the fact that the T-Rex lost, it's that it just sucked. It just wasn't a great fight. It wasn't fun to watch. It's just like, but we've upped the ante. We've done, and like,
this is the fight we should have gotten in that movie.
Let me put it this way: if this was the sequel, the original sequel to Jurassic Park, and the T-Rex lost to this thing, I still would have felt like I got my money's worth and would not have been upset, because it is so fucking epic, and even if she did lose, she did not go down like a motherfucking bitch. Like, it just, like, she fought to the death, and if she saved all their asses by fighting to the death and she goes down, like, then at least I would have been like, okay, that at least was totally worth it.
Story-wise, I don't know how you would do that and have it, like, work. Because, again, we know, obviously, what they were trying to do in
No, what I'm trying to say, though, is so much
the dinosaur die, T-Rex die, and make it be like, okay, then...
No, I'm not talking about 3, I'm talking about...
No, even in this, if the T-Rex died, I'd just be like... What the fuck? It's like, yeah, I don't know. I can't see a scenario, even in this movie, where the T-Rex dies. It'd be like, that'd be okay.
I'm saying,
it'd be a cool fight.
I'm saying if it did happen, though, it would be less disappointing than 3. I think part of 3 is not just the fact that the T-Rex died, and we all love the motherfucking T-Rex. It's just, it felt like such a letdown. Mm-hmm. Like, had she gone out like something like in this movie, I think we would have been more like, all right, it was pretty good.
She put up a good fight, but no, it happened.
She put up a good fight.
T-Rex.
Yeah, but she went down like a bitch in JP3, and it was not that impressive, and you could just feel the filmmakers thinking they were being so awesome, and they weren't, and that's what annoyed me. Mm-hmm. It's that smug kind of like, we upped the ante. That's ching. Like, when the chart says this will go over well. You know, that's what bothered me about it.
Whenever anybody's like, well, why were you upset over that fight in JP3? Because this is how it should have gone down. This is the cool
science of it. I'm like, what fucking science? They don't even have fucking feathers. So it's like, but technically would have won. We don't fucking know. It's a fucking made-up movie.
And in our fucking made-up movie, the motherfucking T-Rex always wins.
If this movie was set 65 million years ago, maybe that would have been a different story. Though I don't even know if those two dinosaurs were together at the same time, or even were there 65 million years ago.
Pixar will tell us in The Good Dinosaur.
I'm not up on my dinosaur theory to know what the Cretaceous or the Jurassic period or the but. Point being, it's fucking fiction, so...
Yeah, and that's... It was amazing.
In my fiction, the T-Rex should win.
I think in most people's fiction. If only, like, you know...
Because the science in these movies is bullshit.
Yeah,
so just don't bother. Don't even bother.
Even in movie 1, it's like, you know, this... really doesn't hold water like in any shape or form.
Oh, and I love the way we've tried to retcon it now.
Well, technically, the reason that they don't have feathers is because they mix the DNA of the frog with the...
I'm like, okay, you retconned that, though. Like, nobody was, you know, sitting here at the time in 1993.
I still don't know how the fuck you find all these mosquitoes that all get stuck in sap, all bite the most popular dinosaurs, like, fucking ever.
Yeah, you
find them. You find them.
You'd think you would bite the more like the ones there would be total large numbers of that were less popular.
Yeah, I mean it's just and you find like every single one of them. It's just what are the fucking odds? But it's like
this is the boarfoot shitosaurus. It's not really impressive looking. It's very small, but there are a lot of them, and the mosquitoes apparently like their blood.
Yeah, so I don't know what else to say on top of that. It was just like it was one of the coolest scenes in any Jurassic Park movie
film ever. But I will say this: I liked the movie before that. That for me was the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, if you will.
I mean, for me, I was just saying, like, okay, the park and the pterodactyl. I don't know. Outside of that, I think I like really actually do not like this film like most. And then that scene happened. I'm like, oh, you made it complicated.
I personally, I'm gonna say this. I personally liked the fact that Vincent D'Onofrio's plan was not really batshit crazy. I'm like looking at it.
Well, people have dealt with like dolphins and stuff.
I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, first off, the idea of militarizing them, I'm like, not a good idea. But like when he's like, no, people are dying, we should do something. I'm like, okay, he's doing it for the wrong reasons. But I'm like, it's not a bad plan. I loved the fact that Chris Pratt went along with it. Like, he's like, listen, we're doing it with or without you. And then next cut to him, like, going on the map. All right, we're going to start here. Like, I liked that. And they could have easily turned him into Vince Vaughn's character. Like, no, I'll never join you. I'll never do this. He does it, and the plan...
I'll sabotage the raptors to eat all the people somehow. I'm the hero. Yeah.
In the long run, technically, the plan worked. Because the raptors plus the T-Rex together are what brought the goddamn thing down. So, I'm trying to think, were there any other...
like big surprises or whatever?
I do feel like, much like the Kep script, that there are scenes missing or something, because I feel like J.D. Wong, or Wong's character, B.D. Wong's character is explained better somewhere, because I'm like, so is he working for D'Onofrio? I'm like, what? I feel like there was some explanation for that somewhere.
It took me a while to even realize who was running the park, because at first I'm just like, why is the helicopter pilot everywhere, and why is he getting so much information? It's like, oh, he's the owner.
Oh, they mentioned that he's the owner.
Yeah, no,
I'm sure they
park. No, I'm sure they did. I just, like I said, I missed it or whatever.
Here's the thing, you kept going on the obvious '90s bad guy. I've seen way worse. Because when
it still doesn't make it good.
When push comes to shove, most of his ideas I didn't think were that bad. Really, I expected him to be way so much worse, and the anti-corporate message to be so worse.
This is what we're doing. We're doing it my way. My way. Like, even when he's just talking regularly, he's just like, well, I'm the bear guy, and I'm gonna talk like even people getting eaten alive. He's like, magnificent. Magnificent.
Oh, come on, no. I'm sorry. What, would you have preferred James Cameron's Avatar?
I hate that. Why are you comparing it to movies that I already hate?
I'm just saying.
Well, it could have been this piece of shit. Yay, it's not that piece of shit. Still a piece of shit.
No,
just
it's
a different
not
kind of piece of shit.
If
the whole movie was like him, that'd be fine. I'm like, just go crazy, stupid, silly.
Mildly not very offensive smelling crap. Avatar's villain was a piece of shit. But that's what I'm trying to say. Is that as bad as you make it out like this is the worst villain ever? I'm like, honestly, he was way less worse than the whole corporate message in Lost World, which was just fucking ridiculous.
Oh, that was like a last minute, like, oh, by the way, this guy's the bad guy. Oh, by the way, John Hammond's the bad guy. Oh, by the way, he's giving the comforting speech at the end of
that was
stupid movie.
Fucking ridiculous. In this one, I'm like, I could see every single person's point of view in this film. And they're not all right, but I'm like, they weren't as obvious, like, evil villain. Like, D'Onofrio was the closest, but even I'm like, he was talking, and I'm like, honestly, he's got a couple of legit points here.
Like, even his points are kind of legit, don't get me wrong. It's the way they have him talk like this the whole time. He's Malkoviching it. I mean, and it's like,
You embarrassed me in front of Raptor.
No, I love it. Okay, well, here's the other thing. He dies, big fucking shock, but when the Raptors are eating him, I think you were like, tell Vanessa I love her.
I did shout, tell Vanessa I love her.
Nothing is going to stop this. A raptor is going to eat
I liked
me.
his death too, because it's just like he wants.
Even that was no fun. Just blood splat, done. Come on, rip. You saw at least Samuel Jackson's arm. It's like, dude, it's just blood.
Now, because that made sense in the movie. Let's cast Samuel Jackson in our movie, have him be a mathematician, and he takes part in no action scene whatsoever and disappears off screen.
Yeah, then just his arm falls.
That whole movie.
Why is he the one going to there anyway?
Let's introduce this girl as a hacker, and her hacking just involves knowing how to use the fucking computer. She didn't hack into jack shit. See, this is what bothers me. Every time, but this movie makes no sense. I'm like, the first movie didn't make any sense. Like, just deal with it. They're all kind of cheesy B movies. The first one's the best, but this is the second best. This movie was a blast and a lot of fun.
I'll give it that. It's the second best.
You just need to learn how to take off your fucking nostalgia goggles.
No, I mean, they are all... I mean, you're right. Even the first film, as much as we love it and we praise it, I think it did sort of break new ground.
Love that movie. But it makes no sense.
No, I would argue not only is it a B movie, it's also... It's an efficient monster movie. And it's done very well. It does talk about the stuff that a lot of monster movies talk about, even the corniest ones. But like I said, it's like 22 years later. Like I said, I wanted even more. I'm like I said, maybe people are like, "What? That wasn't enough." And it's like those scenes were amazing. But don't make me sit through the other stuff.
Mad TV, this thing. Mad TV. Lowered expectations.
Well, there you go. Jurassic Park 4 is great for people with lowered expectations. He said that. You're Messiah of this film.
I
take that.
I'm not lying. If you go in not expecting the greatest movie ever, it's a lot of fucking fun.
There's your praise. If you go in not expecting the greatest movie ever, it's great. It's phenomenal. If you're going in not expecting to have a good time, it's not that bad.
Not everything can be Mad Max Fury Road. That's what I mean to say. This is not the greatest action movie ever made. But
like I said, I really do think people going in who want to see this film and want to have fun during this film, you will most likely enjoy it.
Come on, didn't you at least enjoy when they found the old part of the park? That was awesome.
With these cars that still work and they never used them. Like, why don't they just like, hey, you know, we should utilize some of this shit. It's just, and you know, the dinosaurs will find it, and I don't know, maybe
why do you want
some of the toxics.
Why do you
want
to utilize a 1992 Jeep?
The kids did. You can do anything with that plate, but no, let's just let the dinosaurs find it and, you know, possibly eat something toxic or bad or something that's in there.
No. I got the direct. Well, that may have been outside of fenced area. Who knows where that fucking
Visitor
Coke
Center,
2 story. Yeah, I always got the impression that the park had been closed. And by the time they moved back in there to build a new park, they're already like, well, this is useless. Because even in the first movie, it's not that impressive. That was always my one...
But why not tear it down and use
always
that stuff for other... That's just wasteful. That's wasteful, man.
It's InGen. They're evil. Haven't we figured this out by watching all the other movies? That is my one thing about the first movie that is still kind of fascinates me. I'm like, even that original Visitors Center, like, looking at it, particularly now in retrospect, but even as a kid, I'm like, huh. Thought there would have been more. Like, I mean, Mr. DNA is nice, but
yeah, well,
so I'm sure they just looked at it and was like, just leave it be.
It is 20 years ago, but yeah, I do kind of wonder, like, because we haven't been to that many.
You want wasteful? You're the one who's telling me that you were on that fucking MGM or Disney studio lot at Disney World, and they've just got the fucking Flight of the Navigator. Walnut.
I would love for them to make a ride out of Flight of the Navigator.
Just sitting there. You said there were all these props and stuff just sitting there on the open. Like, David Letterman went off the air. They were throwing that set out the same night into the dumpster. Like, that, honestly, it makes much more sense to me that...
No, but there's still a dumpster. There is a place to put the garbage.
Why are you okay, you're in the jungle. Why are you tearing something down when the jungle will just grow over it?
Because you can possibly use that stuff for other things.
What are you gonna repurpose?
Talk to any car mechanic. They can use some of those parts for something. God damn it, they still work. The fucking kids hardwired it. It still works. They function. You know what?
1992.
Somewhere in Illinois, somebody is not getting their car parts because they're like, oh well, this kind doesn't exist anymore. They only made them in Jurassic Park. Wait a minute, they're right here. Why didn't we just grab them and give them? And now someone's car is dead because of it. Thank you, sir! This is the dumbest argument we've ever had.
I can give you some straws to grasp if you want some.
You're making arguments like, you know, well, why would they who cares?
Because you're the one who says, why is it still there?
No, you're the one that, well, no, you're like, well, that must have been amazing. It's like, I don't know why it was still there.
That's all I was saying, was like, that was cool to see the original part of that was both nostalgic and cool.
I prefer the newer stuff, the actual park and stuff, which again,
I forgot, you're contractually obligated not to have fun.
No. Actually, I forgot to ask you,
passing of time in a meaningless
shut the fuck
way.
up. There's a scene where when they're getting a shot of the park, and we saw it in IMAX in 3D, which is, I would argue, not really needed. You can just see it.
Don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's not awful or anything, but there's no need.
There's nothing in it that you're just like, oh.
But there is one. There is one part with the 3D where they're going over the park, and then they in this big tracking shot, and or this aerial shot, and they go hone in on the two kids, the two main boys. And I swear they were more 3D than everybody else. Like, they stood out a little bit more. Everyone else kind of looked computer generated. They looked real. I was almost wondering if that was done intentionally or if that was just an accident.
I don't know, probably the 3D process, there was another weird shot when they landed in the helicopter for the first time, and I'm like, that looks like a toy helicopter.
Yeah, it looked like a model.
It looks like a model toy helicopter. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, is this the 3D process? Was it a bad effect shot? But yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, no, I do
really
remember that
weird,
too.
because I'm like, no, they're really in there. This is a real shot, but why? Is it just too high def? Like, it literally looked like a toy helicopter had landed. But the characters were really in there. It wasn't CGI, so I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so, there you go. Dude, one of the coolest endings ever. Motherfucking T-Rex!
See this movie. Don't